What's up, guys? It is your boy Vito, and today I'm taking a look at the top 10 sex scandal dodges of the past month. So it was only about a month ago that I gave you guys my advice on draining the swamp, getting the poison out of your body.
Drain it! Get it out! Why do I keep doing two dicks?
And I have to say, Hollywood did not follow my advice because news just keeps coming out about everyone's a pervert, apparently. Every single person, everybody is touching people and raping people and jerking off in front of people. They can't stop. They love it. So here's the thing. All these celebrities are in trouble, and each of them has come up with their own unique dodge, trying to save their careers however they can. And we're going to go through the 10 worst ones, no particular order. Let's get right into it. Jeremy PIVEN, accused of groping and sexual assault against 3 victims. Chosen dodge, the lie detector. Jeremy PIVEN, you might know him from Entourage, and I don't know what the fuck else. He played a sleazebag asshole, and now you find out he's a sleazebag asshole, and you're kind of like, alright, well, it's not surprising. He was very good at playing himself, apparently.
I am sure there are guys who have fingered you in the ass long enough that eventually you let them fuck it.
But he's been accused by some women of getting touchy-feely, and times he definitely should not be doing that. He completely denies it. Here's his statement. He says, "I would never force myself on a woman, period. And I have offered to take a polygraph to support my innocence." This is interesting. Nobody else has tried to go the lie detector route. What PIVEN is basically saying is, look, I am so resolved in knowing that I would never just start grabbing ladies. Hook me up to the machine. Let's give it a go. Now, it's kind of bullshit, because, like, lie detector tests are already not very reliable at all. You can't even, like, use them in court, because they're just, like, pretty much bullshit. But I gotta say, for creativity, you know, trying to get machines involved, like, look, science is gonna prove that I didn't do shit. So Jeremy PIVEN, creativity high, effectiveness yet to be determined. I mean, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna help anything at all. But I can't fault a guy for trying. RATNER, accused of sexual misconduct leading up to rape. His chosen dodge, the suit up. RATNER is kind of a guy I didn't really know a lot about. I found out he's the director of the Rush Hour movies, and then he had a production company which actually recently produced the Wonder Woman movie, so he's making money. But then some lady came forward and said, yeah, that guy raped me. And now a bunch of other people are coming out, celebrities included, like Olivia Munn, Ellen Page, basically saying this dude is being inappropriate. Now, RATNER has pulled out an old school move. He's going to court. He said, all right, let's get the lawsuit moving. High-profile abusers, in order to protect themselves, spend all their money taking these people to court, and the people are in court, and they go, I really don't want to spend my next 10 years in court paying lawyers. They reach a settlement. They agree to have a non-disclosure agreement where the lady can't talk about it anymore. It's abusing America's already broken court system to be like, I will bankrupt you unless you go away. It's definitely, like, high on the list of complete scumbag moves. So I gotta say, creativity 0. When a lady says you raped her and you go, I'm gonna sue you into the ground, you look like a real bad guy. that's probably, I'm gonna say this is probably one of the worst ones. Don't sue the lady you raped. Even if maybe you didn't rape her. Like, there's a long shot maybe you didn't rape her, but still don't sue her. Yeah, it looks really bad. No points for RATNER. Andy Dick, accused of groping. His chosen dodge, I'm Andy Dick. Andy Dick, I mean, he's awful. I know people who have had run-ins with Andy Dick, and they're like, yeah, he's just like a pervert, and he's touchy and grabby and the worst. I don't know why all of a sudden we're taking it seriously. I feel like this is a thing we've been talking about for a long-ass time. Andy Dick's statement is, I didn't grope anybody. I might have kissed somebody on the cheek to say goodbye, and then licked them. I mean, I gotta appreciate the honesty. Is Andy Dick being like, yeah, I'm weird. Like, I'm not a normal guy. I lick people. I mean, it's not appropriate to be licking people, but he's a crazy person. I mean, if you hang out with Andy Dick, you know you're hanging out with a crazy person. So I'm gonna say the I'm Andy Dick dodge is not the worst thing in the world. It's just going, yeah, I'm Andy Dick. That's my whole thing. Andy Dick, I don't think his career is over because he didn't have a career to begin with. Nothing has changed. He's still just like a D-list asshole. Richard Dreyfuss, accused of exposing himself. Chosen dodge, I'm an asshole. Now, Richard Dreyfuss is an actor. He was in Jaws, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I don't know if he's been doing anything lately. His son, Harry Dreyfuss, was one of the guys who came out against Kevin Spacey and was like, yeah, this dude was creepy and touching the young boys, and it's not cool. And Richard tweeted out, oh, I'm so proud of my son, you know, for coming forward about these sexual allegations. Nobody should get away with that. And then this lady was like, well, then you shouldn't get away with it either, because you were all touching me and being all creepy up on me. Now, Richard Dreyfuss has taken a unique tact and quote, "At the height of my fame in the 1970s, I became an asshole. I was swept up in a world of celebrity and drugs. However, I emphatically deny ever exposing myself to Jessica Teague." So he's saying that in the 70s he sucked and he was doing drugs. Okay, so he's saying he used to be an asshole, but he's saying he never took it too far. And this lady who says he exposed himself to her, he says that didn't happen. Okay, I was an asshole. I was being, you know, kind of touchy within reason. Interesting tactic. So I don't know. I don't even know how to rate this one. At this point, I don't think anybody cares about Richard Dreyfuss. I don't give a shit about Richard Dreyfuss. I didn't even remember who the fuck he was. So I think this guy is going to be all right. He's got one accuser. He's not accused of outright rape. The I'm an asshole defense, I don't know. Not the worst. Not the best. You know, I'm going to say about a B, C+. B minus C+. George Takei, accused of drugging a guy, trying to rip off his pants. Chosen dodge. I'm George Takei. All right, so here's what happened. This guy basically came out. He said he was a young guy. George Takei invited him over, gave him a drink. Guy got sleepy. When somebody gives you a drink and you get sleepy, that's usually a bad sign. And he woke up with George Takei pulling on his pants, you know, trying to get up in that pants area. Andy Dick said, "Come on, you guys know me. I suck. I'm the worst." George Takei's thing is, "You guys know me. I'm such a good guy. I would never do this. I'm the best." And to be fair, like, yeah, I think a lot of people do love George Takei. I mean, he's got a lot of those points, those oppression points. He was a gay man trying to make it in Hollywood. He was in a Japanese internment camp, just like an all-around good guy fighting for gay rights and shit. So, like, a lot of people are kind of like, it's true what he says. He is George Takei. His statement was, right now it is a he said situation over alleged events nearly 40 years ago. But those who know me understand that non-consensual acts are so antithetical to my values and my practices. I mean, he's saying it directly. He's saying, you know that I'm not a non-consensual guy. I love consent. I love asking people if I can put my dick somewhere. Now, unfortunately, I'm a big Howard Stern fan. George Takei has been on the Howard Stern show many times, and sometimes gets a little carried away. Here's an audio clip.
All your years involved with cock, you never hassled anybody or grabbed their cock.
You never grabbed anybody by the cock.
Yeah. Did you ever grab anyone by the cock against their will?
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
It's some people that are kind of skittish. And you're trying to persuade. But, you know...
Do we need to call the police?
What is he saying?
Man, I'm listening to that clip and I'm like, George Takei, shut up. I mean, I kind of appreciate that he's trying to be, you know, slightly honest. He's like, oh, but I wasn't in a position of power. But then there's the whole thing where it's like, yeah, but you were like an accomplished actor. So like a young actor or whoever comes up to you, probably looking at you like, oh, this guy could help my career. I should probably put his dick in my mouth, you know? George Takei's 80. He's happily married. I mean, I think people are just going to kind of leave him alone at this point. George Takei, stop touching people if they don't want to be touched. Kevin SPACEY, accused of sexual assault of multiple men and sexual misconduct with a minor. Chosen dodge. I'm gay. All right, Kevin SPACEY is one of the worst ones because I think a lot of us like Kevin SPACEY. House of Cards was pretty good. He's been in a lot of good movies. He's obviously a great actor. So when it comes out that he's spent like the last several decades getting real touchy and rapey with people, you're like, that doesn't feel good. Since this first broke, multiple people have come out and said this guy has been inappropriate. But originally there was this one guy. He's actually a Star Trek actor. He's on the new Star Trek, so he's got some credibility. He came out and he said, you know, 30 years ago, I was in a play with Kevin SPACEY, and he just got up in my junk, started touching on my junk. I was like 14, so clearly not okay. So yeah, it's real bad. It's really, I mean, like, touching, getting gropey with anybody is bad. If they're 14, like a million times worse. That's pedophile stuff. We don't like pedophiles. They're bad. And here was Kevin SPACEY's statement. I honestly do not remember the encounter as it would have been over 30 years ago. I have loved and had romantic encounters with men throughout my life, and I choose now to live as a gay man. Originality points 10. 10 out of 10. Who has ever tried the gay dodge before? No one. In a way, I kind of like see what he was thinking, me being gay. Maybe that's a bigger story than me touching kids. Unfortunately, it's not. Being gay is just like a thing now. Touching kids is not a thing. Hopefully touching kids will never be a thing. So yeah, this did not work. House of Cards is canceled. He actually had a movie coming out, and they were like, we're gonna reshoot every Kevin SPACEY part. He was like a major part of the movie, and they're like, we're just gonna go take him him out of the movie and get a different actor. It's gonna cost a lot of money to do that. And they're like, yeah, but if we put out the movie with Kevin Spacey in it, it's not gonna make no money because nobody wants to go see a movie starring a kid toucher. Nobody goes to the movie theater and they go, here's my $5. I have my any choice of movie. Oh, isn't that the one starring the guy who touches kids? That's where I want my movie dollar to go. Get me a bag of popcorn and some licorice to watch Kevin Spacey's kid touching adventure. So yeah, Kevin Spacey, the gay dodge, 10 out of 10 originality points, overall score F. You failed. That did not work at all. Nice, not even nice try. I can't even say nice try. Terrible try. Charlie Sheen, accused of raping a 13-year-old Corey Haim. Why am I laughing? That's awful. Holy Lord. Chosen dodge, the prepared statement. So, Corey Feldman's a weird dude. He makes weird music. He likes dancing. But Corey Feldman has, for a long time, just been talking about, he's like, look, in Hollywood, there's a bunch of pedophiles. Like a bunch. But he's never actually come out and named names. And I kind of understand why. Because again, you know, with like Brett Ratner, you could just get sued. But now he's saying like, okay, well, all this stuff's coming out at once. I think I can, you know, put it out there. And the first person he's named is Charlie fucking Sheen. Holy shit. Did not see that coming. I mean, obviously Charlie Sheen is a psychopath, weirdo, tiger blood having guy. Loves having that tiger blood.
And I was banging 7-gram rocks and finishing them because that's how I roll. You know, I get tiger blood, man.
Now, Charlie Sheen has gone with the most boring strategy of all, and that's having your publicist say you didn't do it. Originality points 0. Is it a smart strategy? I don't know. Maybe he's just waiting to see how to play it. What's weird, though, is Corey Haim's mom is coming out, and she's like, no, Charlie Sheen didn't rape my kid. So who knows? Maybe he didn't actually do it. Corey Feldman's saying he wants to make a whole documentary about all the child predators touching kids in Hollywood. You can go fund his child touching documentary. I don't know. I don't have any money for that. Louis C.K. accusation, masturbating in front of multiple women. Chosen dodge, I cannot tell a lie. All right, so this is the one that definitely hit me the hardest. There's been rumors for a long time that Louis was doing this kind of shit. And I was always like, maybe it's not true. I really hope it's not true. But you kind of always knew. You're like, yeah, that definitely happened, didn't it?
Let's bring in our next guest, comedian Louis C.K., whom some might describe as an aficionado of masturbation.
And, of course, the story has come out. These women are saying, look, Louis C.K. would get you in a room and he'd be like, hey, can I masturbate in front of you? Now, he didn't rape anybody, which is good. He does point out that every time he did ask. Now, asking does not mean that what you did was right. Like, there's clearly points in time that you're not supposed to ask people if you can masturbate in front of them. But okay, he stayed within the legal confines of the law. Good work. Still creepy. If you know a girl and you really want to masturbate in front of her, hang out for a couple weeks, take her on a date, get intimate, and then maybe when you're back home in your bedroom, hanging out, kissing, you go, hey, could I jerk off in front of you? Not just, hey, come to my hotel. And then you get there and you go, I'm just going to pull this out. Is that cool? No, inappropriate. Now, I got to say, though, Louis' dodge is to take the noble path and just immediately say, yes, I did it. I did it. But yeah, this was one that hit hard for me. I mean, I'm a comedian. Louis C.K. is obviously one of my comedic idols. So I got to admit I'm biased. You know, I was always going to be sympathetic to the guy because I like him and he seems like an honest guy. He seems like a guy who's always had some personal demons that he's trying to wrestle through. Him coming out and saying, yeah, I did it. I don't know. That to me is a pretty good place to start. He's not trying to weasel out of it. He's saying, I fucked up. That's what a real apology is. Not trying to hide behind anything, not being like, I'm sorry if they were offended that I masturbated in front of them. No, he's like, this was wrong. I was in a bad place in my life. I didn't understand consent very well, clearly, and I'm going to try and make it better. So I got to say, I mean, I really hope that he can make right on this. I don't know how you make right to women that you've been a sexual creepoid to. I don't even know where you get started, and you might not even be able to do it. If anything, good apology, even if this is Louis going off into the sunset. You know, he owned up to what he did. I'm gonna rank it an A. That's the best one. I think this is the best apology that we've seen. Harvey Weinstein, accused of everything, chosen dodge, the rambling psychopath. This dude's done. Nobody wants him back. His career's over forever. But what was interesting was, when the first allegations came out, the big New York Times article, his move was to put out probably the worst apology of all time. Just this nightmare manifesto that makes literally no sense. It goes on forever. I'm going to try and go through it, but there's so much here. It's like 10 pages long. Okay, Let's go through it. I came of age in the 60s and 70s when all the rules about behavior in workplaces were different. That was the culture then. I gotta say, man, I know the 60s and 70s were a little bit sexist. At no point did they say, you know, in the workplace, it's cool to masturbate in front of people. That's just the thing that bosses do to their employees. And you can just rape people. That's just business as usual. Jay-Z wrote in 444, I'm not the man I thought I was, and I better be that man for my children. The same is true for me. What the fuck? What is the Jay-Z dodge? I'm gonna try and be more like Jay-Z. No, that's not a thing you can just say and everybody goes, oh, well, I mean, I know you raped all those people, but at least he's trying to be more like Jay-Z. What's hilarious about this is not a Jay-Z lyric. Jay-Z has never written this lyric anywhere, in any song, and definitely not in the song that he references. So Weinstein made up a Jay-Z quote. That's a good idea. What the fuck? I am going to need a place to I can't even read this one with a straight face. I am going to need a place to channel that anger. So I've decided that I'm going to give the NRA my full attention. Oh, Weinstein. Oh, man. Let's not focus on me. Let's focus on the National Rifle Association, okay? They're the real bad guys. Motherfucker, that has nothing to do with this. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Are you kidding me? He goes on, I'm making a movie about our president. Hopefully we can make it a joint retirement party. He's saying, if I go out, I'm going to take Trump with me. Look, motherfucker, I know everybody hates Trump, okay? But you can't just be like, hey, remember how we all hate Trump? No! This is insane. So Weinstein, I mean, I don't know, I guess creativity 10 out of 10, because who comes up with fake Jay-Z lyrics and just starts talking shit about the NRA? That was terrible. That was the worst one ever. All right, now finally we get to the big guy, Bill Cosby, accused of raping everybody forever. Number of accusers, 1 million. Chosen dodge, I am an insane old man. Okay, now Bill Cosby has never come forward and said anything about these allegations, as far as I know. But he does seem to have a strategy for trying to deflect the attention on him, and that is to act like a crazy old man who doesn't know what's going on. Here is an absolutely horrifying clip where Bill Cosby is leaving the courthouse where he is currently fighting rape charges.
Mr. Cosby, 16 hours, how are you feeling? Mr. Cosby, any thoughts about
in case you're not aware, he just did Fat Albert. If somebody asks you rape people, you don't get to use a catchphrase from a popular cartoon character. Rape a ruh-roh, I rape a rape. I can't do Scooby-Doo. Creativity, I don't even think he's being creative. I think he's just actually is senile and has lost his fucking mind. Effectiveness on a scale of 1 to 10? Not at all. I don't think anybody who was like, oh, that Bill Cosby, what a horrible guy. I don't think hearing the voice of Fat Albert made them go, oh, well, Fat Albert, though. He made fun pudding commercials and stupid jokes about being a dad, and then he raped everybody. I have no words. I have no words. The worst. In summary, if you are a sexual horrible person, there's no way out of it. None of these people have gotten out of it, and you're not gonna get out of it. Society has pretty much said, look, we're not putting up with this shit anymore, okay? Everybody needs to stop doing this. We're gonna find actors and producers and directors who don't, rape the shit out of people. I don't know how this is rape. We're gonna find people who don't rape all the time, and they're gonna be the actors and producers and directors that we work with. We don't need you. So if you're out there and you're like a rapey guy and you're thinking about raping people, just know that like if you get caught, it's over. So don't do it. Again, go watch my video. You can just go jerk off, rethink your actions, because when people find out, you can't just go, oh, I'm gay. It's not gonna work. Nobody wants to watch you masturbate in front of them. Nobody wants to see your dick. Stop touching people. Just keep it in your pants, man. Be professional. As always, thanks for watching my video. Like and subscribe. If you could help support my videos on Patreon, I super appreciate it. I'm trying my best to put out more videos, and if I have more funding, I can make more videos. That's the way it works. Again, you just go watch the video about jerking off, okay? It's very simple. This is all you have to do. And you know what? It feels good. It's good for the soul, good for the bones, good for one bone in particular. That's a stupid joke.